I will
Yeah.
share one with you that's been haunting me as
Ooh,
I've been trying to go to sleep, which is
well,
perfect for our year of ghost stories.
do you want to jump in with that one?
Hi, everyone. It's the Book Cougars, two middle-aged women on the hunt for a good read. I'm Emily.
And I'm Chris.
We have been a little bit absent because we've both been busy doing things.
Yes.
And as you can see, we're not in the same location. We will be again next week. My son Jacob and my daughter-in-law Nicole had a baby. So I'm a Grammy for the second time, which is lovely. I'm sitting in the guest room slash nursery. So you see there are some baby things, and they have a wonderful set of bookshelves that I've been perusing as I rock the baby or try to fall asleep. So
Yeah, as we've been chatting before we hit record, I was kind of scanning the shelves back there.
yes, there
Hmm.
are some really good books. I will
Yeah.
share one with you that's been haunting me as
Ooh,
I've been trying to go to sleep, which is
well,
perfect for our year of ghost stories.
do you want to jump in with that one?
Sure. It's this funny, not funny, it's a creepy cover.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that so
That is
creepy?
so cool.
And it's up on like a top shelf, and when I turn a certain way in the bed, like it's like this, looking at me,
Watching you. That's
haunting me.
cool.
And I couldn't even pick it up off the shelf. I actually had to go down at breakfast. I've been here a week, so this is 7 nights this thing has stared at me. And I finally at breakfast this morning said to Jacob, like, can I ask you, like, I'm afraid to pick this book up. And he said this was actually a wedding gift to them from one of his high school friends. And when he told me the name of his high school friend, I was like, oh, yeah, that makes complete sense. And he said, I honestly don't even remember what's inside. So I had the nerve this morning to open it up. And when you open it, it says, oh, the light's really tough in here, isn't
Mm.
it? I'm gonna have to read it
It
to
says
you.
his way. Is that what
Yeah,
it
can you see
says?
that?
Yeah, a
Oh, there
little
you
bit.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, a little bit. It's hard though.
It says His Way, the unauthorized biography of Frank Sinatra by Kitty Kelly. And
Wow.
then, which is like, oh, that's interesting. This particular friend was in the theater. And so I thought, oh, that's interesting. And then when you open it, it's,
Oh,
it's a
that's so
hole.
cool.
So you can store things in it. It's a little place to hide things in your bookshelf.
That's very cool. I love
Now,
that.
what we discussed afterwards, though, is like if you were really trying to hide valuables, this might be a book that, someone who's robbing your house is actually drawn to. Yeah.
Yeah, if I were a thief, I would definitely go to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we decided, maybe they should have rethought that whole thing. But anyway, mystery solved.
That's really cool
I can
though. I
sleep
like
easier
that.
tonight.
Yes. Awesome. Well, I was going to show a book that I talked about on episode 229. It's the one, How Birds Sleep. It's another one that's kind of hard to show with the glare. This is by Sarah Pedri and David Obukowski. And what I wanted to show was, so this book is all about how different birds sleep. And they really like birds and they started wondering about it. And one of the points they make is it's really hard to catch birds sleeping, because they're so active and moving usually. But I was fascinated by birds such as the sooty tern. There you see it, it's flying above the ocean. And this is one of the birds that has evolved to keep in flight while it's sleeping. Because, like humans, birds have two hemispheres to their brains, and not all birds, but some have evolved to be able to have half of their brain go to sleep and the other half be awake enough to keep flying so they can, keep on their migratory path or what have you, or sleep, um, and keep flying. And I just thought that was
Amazing.
mind blowing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really amazing. And I love the illustrations. Beautiful.
Yeah, wonderful illustrations. And then, like so many fantastic picture books these days, it has some, explanation in the back
Yeah.
for older readers to learn about. And then also, are birds losing sleep over climate change? Is this the second page here? and it just gives some ideas on how to help birds. So like keeping your outside lights low if you have them, providing structures for them, and then water. It says water is a very important part of a bird's habitat. Migrating birds also look for water when they're searching for a place to rest during migration. By providing baths or natural features that catch and hold water, you're giving feathery friends a place to quench their thirst, cool down, and have a bath, all in view of your window.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yeah,
That's so nice.
wonderful book.
Lovely. Yeah, I've got a book to show and tell also that I talked about on episode 229, which we should say dropped on Tuesday if you're looking for it. This one is called Saving Vincent, a
Beautiful.
novel of Joe Van Gogh. And this is by Joan Fernandez, and it's from She Writes Press. Thank you to them for sending us an advance reader copy. And Joe Van Gogh was married to Vincent Van Gogh's brother, who was an art dealer. And when he passed away, one of the things that Joe Van Gogh was left with was all of Vincent's art
Hmm.
that was really had no value. And she was trying to raise her family. So she started, I think it's said on the back that she started because Vincent was an unknown artist at the time, and she opened a boarding house to raise her son, and then she worked to promote Vincent's art. And that's how we all now know Vincent van Gogh's art. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. It's historical fiction, obviously,
Mhm.
and She Writes Press is a great press that publishes women. And I also wanted to show off that kudos to the publicist who sent M&Ms in a matching color palette. And the M&Ms, I don't think I can show this, but they actually say the title of the book on them,
That's
which
cool.
I thought was really cool. And these have traveled with me from Connecticut. And now that I've done this video, when I start reading this book, which is up next for me, I will be eating the M&Ms at the same time.
Nice. That's great. That's so important. Like we've talked about it before on the podcast about in regards to women writers usually about having an advocate, that after they die that there's somebody to take on and try and promote and or protect their legacy. And
Yeah,
it's so fascinating to hear that that's Van Gogh's situation too, and that we could have never even known his art had he not had an
right.
advocate.
And never known that she was this powerful woman who was probably being like felt hopeless at that time of how is she going to raise her family now that she's a widow, and really, pulled herself up by her bootstraps and ended up doing this wonderful thing. I'm really curious to read about it. I think it's going to be one of those books that makes me go and do, some side research, which is one of the things I love about historical fiction.
Very cool. Yeah, I love historical fiction so much. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. So, I am currently still reading Swan's Way by Proust, really enjoying it. I've been reading it on my e-reader more than the paper book, and I actually put it on that dyslexic font
Oh
that
yeah.
they have, like which I tried in the past, and I thought, no, I can't do it. And I tried it again, and it clicked. So, like, I feel like, I mean, I'm not dyslexic. As far as I know, I don't know. I don't think I am, but I feel like it's making my reading go faster for some reason. So,
Interesting. Huh.
yeah. So if you're watching this video and you haven't heard of the dyslexic font, check it out because you can do it if you have an app or an e-reader. I think it's pretty much on all e-readers these days. I don't think it's a how do you say that? Proprietary?
Proprietary?
Yeah.
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 Huh.
So I have decided that until I finish Swan's Way, I cannot start another novel. That
Oh,
is my deal I've made with myself because I do want to finish it. We're having our Zoom conversation about it on March 30th. So my plan is to try and finish it by March 23rd and then have time to do, like read some commentary and learn a little bit more about Proust because I didn't do any of that beforehand. I wanted to
yeah.
just try and enjoy the novel. So, with that in mind, I'm going to be reading at least one short story in celebration of St. Patrick's Day from my favorite Irish writer, who is Bram Stoker. And
He
this
would
is,
probably, Bram Stoker probably would have loved this.
oh, totally. So this is a small collection of 9 short stories that were published after he passed away. Actually, they were each published in British or American periodicals while he was alive and early on in his career. But in this edition, there's a preface by his wife, Florence, um, who talks about that as he was dying, I suppose. He had in mind, Bram Stoker, he had planned 3 series of short stories for publication, and the present volume is one of them. But I guess he did not get to edit them as he wanted to. But his widow, Florence, said, I'm the one who's left to publish them. And as she says, I consider it fitting and proper to let it go forth practically as it was left by him. So
Oh,
she did
interesting.
not edit them either.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so the first short story is Dracula's Guest, which is part of the novel Dracula that got cut. Yeah,
Oh,
so it's a little bit of a story in there. And then there are 8 more stories. The weird thing about this edition, it's from Brandon, and this must be a UK publisher because it's in pounds. This first edition published 1990, Brandon, Ireland, and UK Limited, Dingle County, Kerry, Ireland.
I love Dingle
Yeah.
County.
Yeah,
That's a great
so
area.
that's where this is from. But every couple pages, the text is really blurry. I don't know if you could see that or not.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
as opposed to the page before.
Huh.
So that might
Yeah.
put a little damper on things. But I bought this for $3 at a clearance somewhere. I don't know when, but
Hmm.
that's what I'm going to do for St. Patrick's Day. A
Lovely.
little reading there for that.
That's a great chance for us to remind people that our next reading salon is March 23rd, and we're going to be focused on Irish writers and Irish lit. So if you're a Patreon of the Book Cougars at the $5 and above level, we'd love for you to join us for that.
Yes.
I love Irish writers and I love books about Ireland, so I'm really looking forward to that reading salon.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. And this, I just realized there's my finger. That is my Bram Stoker bobblehead.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, Laura got me
And then you
for gifts
also
one year.
above your head, I'm pointing like
Yes.
is your Dracula
Yeah, that's the
poster.
first
Yeah,
edition cover of Dracula that
that's
my
amazing.
sister-in-law got me actually as a gift one year.
So if you're just tuning in for the first time, you're learning that Chris loves Dracula.
I do. It's the book that made me a reader, made me a
Yeah,
self-selecting reader.
that's
So,
amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
special place for that one.
So let us know what you're reading. We would love to know in the comments down below, and we hope that you're getting lots of
Happy
happy
reading.
reading.